and also synthesize the chlorophyll. So indirectly we call it as the biomass production. So in agriculture, we want the biomass production should be more. So here, when the plants, so take the more solar radiation, because the plants have the leaf orientation, like the what is that we call horizontal orientation, vertical orientation. So say for example, cereal like ragi and other crops, we have a vertical orientation where sunlight will pass easily to the canopy. Whereas the pulses, we say horizontal orientation where shading will be there. So indicating that each and every plant has to absorb more light so that there will be more transformation of the photosynthetic surface area. So indicating that the solar radiation and also its absorption by the earth surface and the plant is important effect. Then coming to the other branch, dynamic meteorology. So the dynamic meteorology deals with the atmospheric phenomena. The atmospheric phenomena which describe the processes through mathematical equations. Which together are called numerical models. So usually we take the experiments related to meteorology also, where the numerical models are taken into account for explaining a particular processes. Okay, so more oftenly, the people who are involved in the agricultural meteorology aspects, they are using much of these models, mathematical models. So after defining the initial state of the atmosphere or ocean, the equations are solved to derive a final state, thus enabling a weather prediction to be made. So in the weather prediction also, we are using different models, computerized models, mathematical models. So that is also one of the branches. So in brief. Then coming to the experimental meteorology, it deals with the study of atmospheric process by means of experiments in the laboratory as well as in the field. For example, the cloud formation experiment may be studied in the laboratory condition and the rain making experiment in the field condition. So these are the different field experiments which are going in the situations where IMD people are using these things, and also agricultural meteorology experts are also using these. So to give this one, so this year onwards, next year onwards, there is one separate agricultural meteorology department is coming to our university, where this particular course will be offered by the agricultural meteorology department people, and separate MSc Agri branch is also going to be started. MSc in agricultural meteorology from next year onwards, the separate department will come into existence. So where different experiments will be taken up by the students in the MSc level on meteorological aspects, that to agricultural meteorology. Department of Agricultural Meteorology is coming to existence in our university. Presently, it is there in the Dharwad and West Bengal and other states. Okay, coming to the applied meteorology. So this applied meteorology deals with the application of the meteorological aspects for human activities. So like transporting. So when we go transporting the material through sea or air, we need to understand the meteorological phenomena, town planning, etc. So like agriculture activities affected by the weather and for which meteorologists can provide valuable inputs, indicating that the applied meteorology, so it is beneficial to human activities where we have to use the meteorological aspects for the transporting of the material from one place to other place. So where exactly the wind movement is strong or wind movement is less, how we are getting the rain situation, when is the rain-free conditions, when we can plan for transporting, then accordingly the town planning, where exactly the town planning can be done, what is the direction of the winds. So similar these things we need to understand. Then synoptic meteorology. So the synoptic meteorology deals with the analysis of weather observations plotted on the chart of the purpose of weather forecasting. The observations taken on ground level or on ships or an upper atmosphere with the help of balloon surroundings represent the initial state of the atmosphere. I think you might have seen in the airport or harbors, seaport. So how exactly the wind movement is taking place. So everything, all observatories will be kept in those points to study the weather, how exactly the weather is being changes. Every half an hour or 1 hour interval, the data will be uploaded to the beneficiaries. Accordingly, they are taking the directions. So then we much concentrate in the agricultural meteorology. So some of the other branches we need to understand, but our purpose is much we bother about the agricultural meteorology. So it is the study of the meteorology in relation to the agriculture. It is the study of meteorology in relation to the agriculture. So the agricultural meteorology is the application of meteorological information, application of meteorological information and data for the enhancement of the crop yields. So it is the application of meteorological information and data for the enhancement of the crop yields by reducing the crop losses due to environmental factors. So what are the environmental factors we study? We study about the rainfall, where rain gauge will be there to measure the rainfall. We record the wet bulb thermometer, dry bulb thermometer, indicating the temperature of the atmosphere. We study the wind direction and also wind speed. We record the sunshine hours. What is the duration of the sunshine? So like this, what is the relative humidity in the morning and in the afternoon? So all these factors will be studied, and that is correlated to the croplands. Okay. Say for example, a particular crop, we need a little higher temperature in the vegetative stage, and when the plant enters to the reproductive stage, they require the lesser temperature for the pollination and fertilization. So accordingly, we decide the seasons. So where we are understood about the Kharif crops, Rabi crops, and summer crops in the previous course, the Kharif crops were short day plants, Rabi crops they are long day plants, and there are some day neutral plants. So these things also you understood in the previous courses. Okay. So then the meteorology is going to help in increasing the crop yields, because we are understanding the environmental factors for the purpose of the crop production and also the livestock production. Then coming to the micrometeorology and the macrometeorology. I think I might have told the microclimate and the macroclimate in the previous class. So the microclimate is much important for our crop production when compared to the macroclimate. So if you take the micrometeorology, it is the study of the climate near the ground where plants and animals are survive. So indicating that the microclimate is always going to helpful for a particular type of vegetation, and accordingly the vegetation is decided in a particular place. So based on the topography, relative humidity, all these things also decides. The process operating within vegetation canopies near Earth surface, its size is in few centimeter and lifespan is few seconds, indicating that the microclimate size is very, very small and it is for a short period. Okay. Say if you take the weather process in the morning, it differs in the compared to afternoon and also the evening. Accordingly, plant is going to respond to open these tomatoes. So the plant will going to alter the physiological mechanism, opening and closing of this tomato, whether to increase transpiration rate or decrease transpiration rate. So all these things will be decided by the plant based on the weather and soil conditions. Then macrometeorology means it is a larger area. It deals with the study of meteorological conditions over a larger area. It is related to large geographical regions such as a global level or a larger level, indicating that the micro level name itself indicates a smaller size and a short period, whereas the macro means a larger area, comparatively more time. Okay. So coming to the climatology, so many a time we use the term climatology. It is the study of climate. Climatology is nothing but it is a study of climate. So it is derived from the Greek word klima, means it is a place or zone or slope of the earth, indicating that the climate of that place. And logos means the study. So it is derived from the Greek word klima, means place or a zone or slope of the earth, and logos means study, indicating that climatology is the science which studies average condition of weather, which studies the average condition of the weather or the state behavior of the atmosphere over a place or a region for a long period of time. It is for a long period of time. Many a time we ask you to differentiate weather and climate. So many a time we give the example, how is today's weather? So whether it is cloudy or a sunny day, like that. It is indicating that it is for a short period of time. A particular day weather we call. Whereas a weekly weather, we call it as climate. How is the climate of that a particular area? Indicating that it is for a period of week or 15 days or 1 month. How will be the climate of that place? Like that we ask. So whenever you want to go to particular country or so, you study the weather and also the climate of that particular area. Weather means that particular day or like that. Climate means over so many days. Okay. So like that we study the weather and climate. So ecology, what is ecology? I think in the previous course also we studied. It is the branch of biology that deals with the relation of one organism to another and their physical surroundings. It is the branch of biology deals with the behavior of animals in a surrounding areas or relation of one organism to other in a particular surrounding areas. We call it as ecology. Then what is hydrology? Hydro means water. It is defined as a science which deals with study of water bodies and water cycles in the earth atmosphere and systems. So many terminologies we use in the course of discussion. Then meteors and its classification. Meteors and its classification. Meteors are defined as an atmospheric phenomenon having a luminous appearance that travels through space as aerolites, fireballs, stars, etc. Okay, which we are studying in the atmosphere. Say, for example, we have the aerial meteors. The name itself indicates aerial means in the air. It is wind or tornado. Aerial meteors, example, wind and tornado. So I think we might have studied about the wind, different types of winds. Okay, so a whirling wind or wind with so much speed, tornado or cyclones. Okay. Then hydro or aqueous meteors. Hydro or aqueous meteors. It is relating to rain or hailstone, snow and dew. Then lithometeors. Litho means stone. Okay. Lithometeors. It is dust and smoke. Okay. Then luminous meteors. It is rainbow and halos. So circle of light and sound of luminous body. So which is available in the literature. Then igneous meteors, lightning and shooting stars. These are some of the things meteors classification or terminologies we are use. Then what is the importance and scope of meteorology? What is the importance and scope of the meteorology? So the meteorology is very much useful in the mankind for the animal husbandry, the industrial aspect, and also so many weather phenomena. So almost all social industrial, agricultural, commercial, in the transport system. So directly or indirectly, it is affected by the weather and the climate. So the atmosphere affects and sustain human life. The atmosphere affects and sustain the human life, animal production, the microorganism behavior, insect and pest behavior, and also the forest ecosystem, marine culture, etc. So everything has to be dictated by the weather phenomena and the aspects. Okay. So the meteorology has therefore greatest scope on every human enterprise in the modern life. So if you take some of the scope of meteorology in our different applications, say for example, if you take the navigation, which is a tough job. The navigation is a small, not a small job, because the people have to move through the sea and ocean or lakes like that. So for safe navigation on sea, the knowledge of the adverse weather. So we need to understand when to enter to sea. So that's why always the forecast is given to the fisherman. So sometime 1 week or 2 weeks we should not enter to the sea, because so much high speed wind is coming. Like that we are giving the forecast. A large tidal waves sometimes forms. So the large tidal waves, ocean waves with high speed wind, or sometimes cyclonic storms. So all these things we need to understand before entering into the sea or the ocean. Okay. So where it is a dangerous part, accordingly we have to study and enter to the sea. So these things are supplied by the weather forecast from the meteorology. So this is given by the meteorology with respect to the weather forecast. Similarly, we have the safe aviation. So when you are traveling through the aeroplane, so usually the every half an hour the data is uploaded. So even in the when you are entering to flight, also they are giving the forecast how the so where you are starting from, what is the atmospheric conditions like a temperature or any probability of cloudiness or any rain forecast, and the place which you are going to reach. So what will be the temperature? All those things will be indicated. These things are given by the the meteorologist. Okay. For transport through air, the pilots need the information about the atmospheric conditions. That's why for every half an hour and 1 hour, the pilots are keep on asking the information. And also whenever, especially the landing and takeoff time. So this is very much important. The landing and takeoff time, the much important. Okay. So the atmosphere conditions such as electric lightning, high speed winds and their directions, thunderstorms, foggy atmosphere, etc., where the pilots can plan accordingly the movement of the flight. For this purpose, accurate forecasts are needed. So the accurate forecasts are needed, and it is given by the meteorology. I think in the airport you might have seen there will be separate IMD wing. So if you go to the Bangalore International Airport, a tall tower is there, IMD tower, where there will be wind vane and although tower moving, and every half an hour they are uploading the information. So the pilots are keep on connectivity with the IMD people. So which is highly important to plan the piloting of the flights. Then coming to the industry, many industries for their raw material depends on agricultural produce, and accordingly location of industry is decided. The location of the industry has to be decided based on the wind movement. So where exactly the wind movement in the majority of the time. Say for example, now from the June to September we are getting southwest monsoon rainfall, southwest monsoon. Okay. So the wind movement will be from the southwest. So accordingly, how the industry can be planned, which side the door should be kept, or main gate and back gate, how the window system should be given, what should be the height of the industry. So all those things can be the materialized by taking the weather data. Okay, like sugar mills, distillery, jute mills, cotton mills, all that can be planned based on the meteorological or physics aspect. Then animal production. So like your poultry, pig farming, milk production also depends on weather and weather, where meteorology provides information for successful animal production and animal husbandry, indicating that what should be the temperature of that area, how we have to maintain. Say, for example, when there is a small puppies or piglets or lamb, so initially they should be given a cool stored condition. Sometime after birth, giving a little warm condition. Like that, it is we have to create the different the condition where the weather is meteorology is going to guide us. Similarly, the fishermen's need information on the atmospheric condition on where the oceanic changes are taking place, as I already told. Then irrigation and water resources. So the meteorological and hydrological information assist in planning the location and size of the storage capacity. Okay, the hydrological information and meteorological information is needed for building the dams to ensure water supply for irrigation and domestic needs. So all these things, when to irrigate, how to irrigate. So the meteorological information is also the needed. So there, what will be the temperature of that area, how exactly it reacts. Okay, all those things. Then land use planning. So the meteorological data is supplemental with soil and topographic information to plan the cities to have the specific land use and also for crop production, forest area, urban residence, industries. So all the things where we are using the meteorological data. Similarly for human life, so to acclimatize to the area, so the prevailing weather conditions are very, very important. As I was telling, the Bangalore weather is so much good where many people wanted to live here, most wanted city. Like that, much extremities are not there. But in some of the area, there will be extremities in the weather where people will find it difficult to adjust. Accordingly, the clothing. So usually warm clothes during the winter and thin clothes during the summer. All those things you are knowing. The housing. So direction of the windows, doors, ventilations based on the wind direction we are deciding. That is what we call it as Vastu. Many a time we discuss about the Vastu. Vastu is nothing but a free movement of the air and the light for the human benefit. So accordingly, the housing directions. Say some people we want east facing of the site, north facing of the site. So like that, people want to have the location accordingly. Then accordingly, the food habits, heavy diet during winter season and the light diet during summer, where more water consumption. So like this, we decide based on the weather parameter. So accordingly, the human health is also decided. Sometimes, if it is dusty and more humidity there, some patient may suffer from asthma and other things. If cloudy atmosphere continues for a long time, so all the human related problems also comes. So accordingly, the commerce and other things will be decided with the weather, indicating that the meteorology is important in the human life for animal husbandry, for establishment of the factories, aviation. Okay, so many ship building, all those things you have to study and accordingly you have to understand. So coming to the scope of agricultural meteorology. So here important things we have to remember how exactly the agricultural meteorology is helpful for the crop production. So as I told, weather and climate are considered as basic input or resources in agriculture. I told today's weather is very good. It is highly sunny. So like that we say, especially if you go to the European countries, many a time there is a cloudy atmosphere, many a time cloudy atmosphere and chilling. Okay, so more cold. So they want the sun. If the sun comes means they feel very happy, indicating that. So the weather of that particular day, they decide, oh, this particular day is so nice. Like that they feel. So weather and climate are considered as basic input or resources in agricultural planning. Every plant processes is related with the growth, development, and yield of a crop is affected by weather because we we need to have the sunlight, okay, temperature, relative humidity, wind speed, okay, direction. So many things are deciding the crop production. So as a result, so these are highly important. So similarly, every farm operation such as plowing, harrowing, land preparation, weeding, irrigation, manuring, etc. So also affected by the weather. So if it is a cloudy weather and it is drizzling, you cannot take up spraying activities. So even plowing also. So when such conditions, we cannot do the plowing pakka. So if we are hiring the Bilakman and the pair, we have to give simply money because the quick operations may not be done, indicating that the weather is deciding so many factors. So the scope of agricultural meteorology can be illustrated through the many applications, like a characterization of agricultural climate. Characterization of the agricultural climate. Based on the climatic factors, the climate is divided into arid climate. What is arid climate? Arid climate is one where evaporation is more than the precipitation. Okay, that is called as arid climate, like your Thar desert. Okay, it is a arid climate. Semi-arid climate, humid climate, subhumid climate, temperate climate. So like this, so the characterization of agricultural climate based on so many factors like evaporation, precipitation, relative humidity. So all these things we are taking into account. For determining crop growing season, solar radiation, air temperature, precipitation, wind, humidity, etc. are important climatic factors on which the growth and development of the crop is decided. Accordingly, the yield will be forecasted or decided. So the agrometeorology is considers and assesses the suitability of these parameters in a given region for having the maximum crop production for economic benefit. So indicating that the agricultural climate is based on so many things. So like your growing season, solar radiation, air temperature, soil temperature, precipitation, wind direction and speed, humidity. So many things are involved in our crop production activity. So indicating that we need to understand these things for effective crop production and economic benefits. Then crop planning for stability in production. Crop planning for stability in crop production. So to reduce the risk of crop failure on climatic part, so also to stabilize the yields under adverse weather conditions. Okay, so where we have to go for a suitable crop or cropping pattern. Sometimes we call contingent crop planning. When the weather, say for example, this year the forecasting is given, it is a normal rainfall. This year, so the country will going to have around 95 to 105% of the rainfall, normal rainfall, indicating that there is a safe side we are this year. So when such forecast is given, the farmers can able to adjust or prepare accordingly what are the cropping pattern to be made, how much cereal production can be taken up, how much pulses area can be marked, how much area the oilseed can be marked, what is the area for the vegetable purpose, what is the area for milk animals, the grasses. So like that, the planning can be made considering the how the forecast of this year, and also what is the water, the requirement of the area and different crops. So when is the effective rainfall is good means, so there will be a good available soil moisture so that we can plan nicely. Okay. Then crop management. So management of crop involves various farm operations such as sowing, IMD unit is there. So even in agriculture, there they are recording all the parameters and also giving the information. Similarly, we have All India Coordinated Research Project on Agrometeorology, where agronomist is heading. So they are giving the contingent crop planning for different areas. Okay. So agro advisory services are being made. So for example, weeding, harrowing and mulching, etc. are undertaken during dry spells, indicating that at that time there should not be any rain. Mulching or similar operations you have to taken up when there is when there is no rainfall or dry spells. So similarly, fertilizer application is advisable when rainfall is not heavy and wind speed is less than 30 km per hour and soil moisture is between 30 to 80%, indicating that for each and every agricultural operation, we need to know the forecast. Okay. Of course, now it is the information time or yuga we call, where in the mobile system only we are getting whether today we are getting rainfall or today it is a cloudy weather, sunny weather, how much is the temperature. So accordingly, nowadays it is safe to know. Even the farmers are knowing since they are also having good mobiles. So where we can know whether today or next day is raining or not, like that. Similarly, the spraying or dusting is undertaken when there is no rainfall. So as I told, whenever we want to take up the spraying of herbicide or pesticide, not herbicide, spraying of pesticide or fungicides, there should not be any rains. If at all any rains means whatever the spray solution falling on the plant, it will be washed out. It is not good. So, but when we go for spraying of herbicide, there should be adequate soil moisture, but there should not be any rainfall. Okay. Similarly, the crop monitoring. Okay, to check the growth and the performance of the crop, the meteorological tools such as crop growth models, water balance techniques. So these things also we are using. So the crop modeling, so those models are also we are using. Research in crop climate relationship. So agrometeorology can help to understand crop climate relationship to resolve complexities, okay, in relation to microclimate. Similarly, climate extremities. So this is much bothering nowadays. Climate extremities. Sometime there will be a flood situations and prolonged drought situation, and sometimes frost in the areas like the Jammu Kashmir or Himachal Pradesh. Sometimes hailstorms, okay, high winds. So these are the things sometimes happens. So where it is being forecasted so that the people can take the safer activities. But sometimes beyond our limit, things are being happening. Then climate as a tool to diagnose soil moisture stress. So soil moisture can be exactly determined from climatic weather balance method. Of course, nowadays we have different the instruments where we can diagnose the soil moisture stress. Accordingly, we can able to so give the irrigation scheduling. So even nowadays sensor-based irrigations are available. So many irrigation techniques are available. Then livestock production. So set of unfavorable weather conditions for growth and development of livestock is also studied in the agricultural meteorology. So to optimize the milk production or a poultry production, we need to understand the weather, how exactly the poultry birds are reacting to the increasing temperature. So what should be the our preparedness for that. Okay, accordingly, we have to put a gunny bag with mush and like that. The different things will be taken to create the congenial environment. So then soil formation process. So all these things we are studying in so the agrometeorology advisory services. So where the advisories are being given, what should be the cropping pattern for that particular area, what should be the length of growing season for that, what crop should be grown. Like that, accordingly, we are giving the agro advisory services through universities and also IMD and also from the RSK programs. So then lastly, the development and importance of agricultural meteorology, how it has come into existence. So the Greek philosophers showed great interest in meteorology and climatology. Meteorology is literally a discussion of things above and includes meteors and optical phenomena. Aristotle's Meteorologia, dated about 350 BC, was written about these meteorological aspects. Two instruments marked the turning point in understanding the atmosphere. So in 1593, as early as 1593, 15th century, Galileo invented the thermometer, and in 1643, his student Torricelli discovered the principles of mercurial barometer. So like that, the inventions were made accordingly in different disciplines. So International Meteorological Organization, we call it the IMO, has been established in 1878 and later changed as World Meteorological Organization during 1951 with the headquarters in Geneva, which is in the Switzerland. World Meteorological Organization is present in the Geneva, started in 1951. It was renamed the earlier International Meteorological Organization, established in 1878, renamed and now placed in the Geneva. So the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD, we call it as. So IMD, it is a central government agency, now comes under the Earth Sciences, Ministry of Earth Sciences. Earlier it was under the CSIR, now comes under the Earth Sciences. It is established in the year 1875. So the Division of Agricultural Meteorology was started by the IMD in 1932 to meet the needs of agricultural research and education, and also to give the guidance and also impart the agricultural education. So the IMD has brought out many useful publications on rainfall. The Rainfall Atlas of India was published based on the rainfall data from 1901 to 1950. Of course, later we have so much useful information from them, where they are also publishing a journal. It's called Mosam. A journal is also coming out from the IMD. In addition to rendering advice from time to time, the IMD began to offer regular weather surveys and farmers' weather bulletins from 1945 onwards. The weather bulletins are also being given, and it is given to send to the mobiles. The bulletins are broadcasted daily in 20 regional languages in All India Radio and stations on expected weather conditions during the next 36 hours. So through earlier radio, now through the televisions are also it is being broadcasted and telecasted. So at present, more than 8,000 rain gauges stations are present in the country, with more than 52 principal types of agromet services are available in the country. Of course, now we have different, the apps are also available. So from which they make those and other apps, they are giving so much agro advisory services are given through the IMD and also through the agricultural universities, where there will be already a coordinated research project on agrometeorology will be there. So where the physics and agronomy people will be there. So like that. So working out of the normal rainfall. So many things we are doing. How the probability of rainfall can be worked out. Of course, now many computer models are there to predict the rainfalls and all. So even Indian Meteorological Department and also nowadays private the advisory services are also entered. So accordingly, a good advisories are being given to the farmers. So because it is the information world, compared to earlier days, now we can know today whether there will be rainy or not rainy. So even in the mobiles only we can even, and through newspapers we are getting, through the televisions, every minute information is also available. So this can be used, and we are for the mankind of the farmers, and also life in general. So this is giving a much important information. So the meteorology and agricultural meteorology is a very important branch of the science for today's world, for better mankind, the crop production, animal husbandry, the industries, etc. So this is the one today I wanted to cover a brief introduction about this one. So whether you are comfortable with this Word file, or can I make it the PowerPoint and present? Because same information when I send to you people, it will be easy to read and understand. So that it will be repetitive to you people. That's why I'm presenting the Word file only. If you feel I can make it PowerPoint also, but PowerPoint means it will not be elaborative. Only the highlighted the point will be taken. I feel this Word is better than the PowerPoint, as I feel. Sometimes I can also go for the PowerPoint presentations. I think I'll stop here. If at all any clarifications, I can have. Gavi Siddesh? Gavi Siddesh? Any clarification? Gavi Siddesh? Shall I close now then? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
So is it okay?
Okay, sir.
So this Word, this one is okay? Hello?
Okay, sir.
Okay, then I think I'll stop here. Huh? So I'll continue in the next class. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you then. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Record.